Good evening. Coming to you now is Oman News from the Sultanate of Oman Television. But first, the headlines. The Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia review in Riyadh the means of promoting mutual cooperation in commercial. 99 days since the launch of the Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip, and the number of militaries reach over 23,800. And US and British raids target sites in Yemeni capital Sana'a. Thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. To promote trade exchange between the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and establish lasting commercial partnership between the two brotherly countries, His Excellency Qais bin Mohammed Al Yusuf, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investments Promotion, met during his visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Their Excellencies Ministers of Investment, Minister of Industry and Mineral Wealth, Minister of Economy and Planning, Governor of Zakat, Tax and Customs Authority, and the Chairman of the General Authority for Foreign Trade. During the meeting, the Omani minister discussed with his counterparts means of promoting mutual cooperation and developing bilateral relations in the fields of commerce and investments promotion. The total bank credit of the commercial banks in the Sultanate of Oman by the end of November 2023 amounted to 30.9 billion Omani riyals, with an increase by 5.8% compared to the same period in 2022. The statistics by the Central Bank of Oman show that credit volume granted to private sector grew by 4.8% to reach 25.5 billion Omani riyals. The total deposit volume in the banking sector increased by 9.9% to 28.8 billion Omani riyals. Consequently, deposits from the private sector increased by 9.2% to stand at 18.9 billion Omani riyals. The weekly index of Muscat Stock Exchange increased by 30 points this week, continuing the upward trends of last week, which showed an increase by 91 points. The main index closed at 4,600 points, recording the best performance since the beginning of December. The market value of listed shares increased by the end of the week to 23 billion and 941 million Omani riyals, recording gains by 129 million Omani riyals. International news. Israel kept up bombardments in the Gaza Strip today as its deadly war approached 100 days with no end in sight. In the southern city of Rafah, an Israeli airstrike on a house sheltering 2 displaced families killed 10 people, the Gaza Health Ministry said. In the central Gaza Strip, residents reported intense gun battles and tank shelling and Israeli airstrikes in Al-Bureij, Al-Nusayrat and Al-Maghazi areas housing refugees. The Gaza Health Ministry spokesman said Israeli strikes killed 135 Palestinians and wounded 312 in the past 24 hours. In total, he said 23,843 Palestinians, mostly civilians, have been killed since October 7th. The United States and Britain carried out new raids targeting the Yemeni capital Sana'a, a day after targeting nearly 30 sites in Yemen. The Houthi Ansar Allah group stated that the new strikes targeted the Al-Dalimi air base north of Sana'a. In the same context, the UN Security Council discussed at the request of Russia the attacks carried out by the United States and Britain on Yemen, as Moscow says that the strikes are not related to self-defense and that they violate Article 2 of the United Nations Charter, pointing out that freedom of navigation is governed by the law of the sea and the dispute should be referred to the competent authority. The Ukrainian Air Force said Ukraine was subjected to an intense Russian missiles attack, adding that Moscow launched some of its hypersonic missiles. Meanwhile, air defense shot down Russian missiles in at least 5 regions across Ukraine. At the beginning of this year, the war witnessed widespread changes in the development of military technique, weapons and equipment used, the likes of which had never been witnessed before since the beginning of the conflict. The Russian-Ukrainian war is heading towards completing its second year without the prospect of a political solution that would put an end to the conflict, whose political and economic repercussions have affected various regions of the world. The World Meteorological Organization expressed its expectations that the phenomenon of global warming will worsen this year, exceeding the global record temperatures recorded last year and approaching one level between 5 degrees Celsius. The expected record temperatures will be accompanied by significant social and economic impacts. Climate change causes the successive occurrence of weather phenomena such as fueling devastating forest fires, increasing the frequency of heavy rains, floods, and escalating tropical cyclones, which lead to huge human and economic losses. Meanwhile, scientists have warned of a staggering trend of fierce heat after 2023 emerged as the world's hottest year on record. In its annual global climate analysis, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration confirmed the finding of EU scientists that 2023 was the warmest since records began in 1850, putting it at 1.35 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial average. The amount of heat stored in the upper layers of the ocean also reached a record high last year, it added. A massive winter storm moving across the U.S. Midwest knocked out power to more than 250,000 customers in Michigan and Wisconsin yesterday, ahead of a brutal freeze expected to blanket the region starting this weekend. Some 151,203 homes and business were without power in the Michigan. In Wisconsin, 102,692 customers were without power by midnight yesterday. Airlines delayed more than 7,600 flights across the U.S., including planes grounded at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport due to winds and blinding snow. The storm is coming ahead of what will likely be the nation's coldest weather since December 2022. Residents in the state of Western Australia were cautioned to evacuate their homes today as a bushfire spiraled out of control near the state's capital, Perth, amid soaring temperatures. The emergency alert came amid a heat wave warning in place for many parts of the state that lifted the risk of bushfire outbreaks. In Perth, a maximum temperature of 41 degrees Celsius was forecasted, almost 10 degrees above the city's average January maximum, according to the data from the nation's weather forecast. Australia's last 2 fire seasons have been quite compared with the catastrophic 2019-2020 Black Summer of bushfires that destroyed an area the size of Turkey and killed 33 people. You are with the Sultanate of Oman television, and later to come in our news bulletin. The Wilaya of Bidia is an ideal destination for winter tourism, attracting visitors from within and outside the Sultanate of Oman. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The revenues generated by 3 to 5-star hotels in the Sultanate of Oman increased by 26% to 204 million and 180,000 by the end of November 2023. This is due to the increase in the total number of guests by 30% to reach over 1,883,000 guests, including over 716,500 Omani guests. In the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, 700 Omani students celebrated their graduation from Jordanian universities. The students expressed their joy and happiness for completing their bachelor and master's degrees in various majors. The graduation celebration ceremony was memorable for students, which coincided with the 4th anniversary of His Majesty Sultan Haytham's accession to the throne. The celebration was organized by the Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman in Jordan. The graduates greeted each other on this happy occasion and wished each other well in the next chapter of their lives. Now to North Sharqiya. The Wilaya of Bidia in the North Sharqiya Governorate stands as an ideal destination for winter tourism, attracting visitors from both within and outside Oman due to the significant tourist influx. The youth of Bidia have initiated various projects that cater to the visitors' needs. More details in this report.
The Wilaya of Bidia in North Sharqiya Governorate is a prime spot for winter tourism. Visitors from both near and far flock to Bidia to navigate its golden waves of sand, creating memories and connections that go beyond the horizon.
The Wilaya of Bidia is one of the tourist destinations in the Sultanate of Oman, renowned for its splendid weather, particularly during the winter season. Its distinctive features include the presence of sandy landscapes and well-developed infrastructure, complemented by various tourism facilities. Nowadays, numerous tourist amenities have emerged, offering services that cater to visitors' needs, such as resorts, camps, tents, and rural lodges.
The unique sandy characteristics of the Wilaya of Bidia and the growing number of visitors have motivated the local youth to initiate diverse tourism ventures, including camps and resorts. Among the young entrepreneurs in the area, Muhammad bin Rashid al-Hajri is a shining example of those who offer top-notch services to tourists.
The Wilaya of Bidia features a variety of tourism facilities aimed at attracting visitors, including high-end camps, lodges with diverse designs, and not to forget traditional abodes targeting domestic tourism. As part of our new enhanced editions, we have introduced mobile accommodations such as caravans and other lodging options. This diversity is essential for the Wilayat of Bidia and is of general importance to the Sultanate of Oman.
Every evening, the sun dips below the horizon and paints a brand new chapter in the ever-changing beauty of these vast sandy landscapes. The resulting moments are truly unforgettable and not to be missed by any visitor. As the night falls, the camping atmosphere comes alive with the gentle breeze, creating a unique ambience that visitors savor and cherish. Embarking on a winter adventure in the stunning Wilaya of Bidia particularly camping amidst the golden sand dunes, with the tourism projects facilitated by the enthusiastic Omani youth, is an absolutely enchanting and heartwarming experience. From the Wilaya of Bidiya, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, North al-Sharqiyya, Governorate.
What a fantastic place to visit. Thank you, Saleh, for that report. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate of Oman and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia review in Riyadh the means of promoting mutual commercial cooperation. 99 days since the launch of the Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip, and the number of martyrs reached over 23,800. And US and British raids target sites in Yemeni capital Sana'a. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. This news is being led by Hilal Al-Shandudi, sound engineer Hilal Al-Rubi'i, and English editor in charge Abdul Latif Al-Balushi. From me, Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, and the entire news team, we thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.